We have Masha Katzniff on the news desk again, bringing the news. There's more leopards eating faces, and the Leopards News Network is on the case. Let's see what news stories we have for today. This one is so funny to me. They just can't believe that President Musk would turn on them. Elon is kicking the right wingers who don't agree with him off X. We already seen that the MAGA versus MAGA, the civil war was popping off, and it's still continuing. Leon Scum mocks right-wing critics who complain he's demonetizing them. After he removed monetization capability from right-wing critics over his H-1B visa stance, Musk mocked those complaining about their free speech being restricted. Remember, he said that Twitter was going to be the free speech platform. Tech billionaire Leon Scum taunted his MAGA critics who complained about free speech restrictions after he revoked their monetization abilities on his platform X. Musk allegedly censored accounts that were critical of his stance on labor and immigration and for his support of the H-1B visas, which allow U.S. employers to employ immigrant workers. As a result, they were blocked from receiving ad revenue. Far-right X accounts that had their verification badges removed on December 26 included President-elect Donald Trump supporters like Laura Loomer, Gavin Mario Wax, Conservative PAC, and Owen Schroyer. Couple of the comments under this post: the babies are losing their playpen. Playpen closed, tantrums everywhere, and Leon Scum just turned off the lights on the way out. All right, so then they said, not really, they can still go to Lie Social over where Trump is. And Grimster says, except they'll have only dozens of followers over there. 'Tis a barren wasteland. And like this person said down at the bottom, there's also no liberals to argue with. And without liberals to argue with, their hate boner shrivels away. And, the liberals and people with some sense that don't really advocate for racism, they've gone over to blue sky, but they can't really go over to blue sky because they don't know how to turn off their racism. So then they get blocked. Now we have Nikki F that is complaining. His blue check mark looks like it's been removed as well. It says, when you declared war against opponents of H-1B, did that include banning or unverifying X users who disagree with you? That seems to be the perception after the wave of suspensions and de-verifications this week. Even the appearance of retaliation chills speech. And then he shared this screenshot with a bunch of suspended accounts. The person that posted this says, Nikki F is a renowned internet white supremacist. He is heavily pro-MAGA and pro-Musk, also very anti-woke. Musk took away Fuentes check marks after Fuentes and other prominent internet maggots spoke against H-1B. Chronicles of Sarnia says, these people are dumb. They are really, really dumb. Which Moment says, hey, cool it, or I'll tell Nikki F your chilling speech. You want the groypers to get you? They have to wait for their moms to pick them up, but they'll get you. And then Chronicles of Sarnia says, they climbing in your windows. They snatching your people up. And Don't Eat Concrete says, hide your kids. And Fugger Doug says, hide your wife. Hide your apartments, too. Hide your apartments and your basement and your soup. This one's titled, When You Vote for Tax Cuts for the Rich, Actually Believing This Time It'll Be Different, and then act surprised when it's not. This was in the conservative subreddit. It says, Trump says he'll deliver the largest tax cut in the history of our country. And this person says, to the middle class, right? Coupled with federal budget cuts, right? And then this person says, ha, 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 ha. One can hope, but let's be honest, probably not. And then this person says more money at the top means more jobs at the middle class. And then this millennial conservative, and that was a conservative Christian saying more money at the top means more money for the middle class. And this millennial conservative says, man, that's some wild gymnastics. More money at the top means more outsourced labor at a lower rate. So they know, but they voted for this. They know, but they voted for this. The conservative Christian says Trump will bring jobs back to America. And then the millennial conservative says, we can only hope. This is still in the conservative subreddit. This is a conservative. It says, I'll guarantee he'll double the debt in 4 years. Inflation is the biggest tax increase on the middle class. This is another conservative. It seems to be in such a runaway spiral. I don't know what can be done about it at this point. The stuff that needs to be cut won't be cut because everyone in America has become addicted to it. And then this Christian conservative says, just curious if he'll do anything about the national debt or if it's a foregone conclusion that it will never be paid off. So why try? This conservative says, I believe no one in the government cares about the national debt. There isn't any plan or intent to curb spending. Even if they raise more taxes, they will find ways to spend it before paying off any real debt. All right, so this is the caption. Conservative voters voted for, supported, or wanted to impose tax cuts for the wealthy on themselves and others. Tax cuts for the wealthy has consequences of increased national debt and inflation, hurting the middle class and the poor the most. As a consequence of tax cuts for the wealthy, the middle class and poor happen to take the tax burden due to inflation and runaway debt. But this is the funniest part. It's not even January 20th, and they already have no faith in the government they elected. They are so dumb and gullible. And the bad Parker says, and so freaking annoying. And then Weenus Tickler says, it's so funny because no one expected it to happen this quick. And the ironic part is that Trump and co split with the grassroots white nationalist base for Trump not being racist enough. It's the cynical billionaires versus the middle class racist a-holes. And now those middle class racist a-holes are saying some right things about the billionaires they elected for the wrong reasons. Thomas says, exactly. I want to know where all these undecided voters are, the ones that gave us Trump because of the price of eggs. I wonder if they have any regret yet. Denominator says, effing wild, dude. And no one will ever admit the left was right. Okay, now this one was funny to me. This was also posted in the conservative subreddit talking about Cornhub shuts down Florida access, urges users to call their lawmakers. All right, I'm going to do a couple of these comments. So this is a conservative saying, the problem I have with laws like this is the slippery slope. I don't give a crap if Cornhub disappears, but you can find corn on normal sites like Twitter and I assume Reddit. So where does it stop? The end goal of legislation like this has nothing to do with protecting the children. It's about prepping us to accept the end of anonymity on the internet so that people will be too afraid to speak their minds. Before long, you have to tie your real identity to every account you have online. And then this classical liberal says, agree. Look past whatever immediate good these laws provide. Imagine that the worst person you can imagine would do if they were allowed to control and implement them. So here's this article. Cornhub shuts down Florida access, urges users to call their lawmakers. I'm not going to do that article, but I am going to come back to Project 2025. This came straight from the Project 2025 website. The left has spent millions fear-mongering about Project 2025 because they're terrified of losing their power, and they should be. Project 2025 offers a menu of solutions to the border crisis, inflation, and a stagnant economy and rampant crime. So this is straight off of their website. I wanted to come to this part that was strictly about outlawing corn because it was there. Because when we were talking about Project 2025 is going to take away people's rights, I didn't care about corn, but I knew it was in there. And this part says, outlaw corn, true. Project 2025's mandate for leadership calls for the criminalization of corn production, distribution, and consumption. Corn has no claim to First Amendment protection, and its purveyors are child predators and misogynistic exploiters of women. Their product is as addictive as any illicit drugs and as psychologically destructive as any crime. So the Christian conservative said, we're coming for your corn. So this is the comment on the conservative subreddit saying, Cornhub does not have to shut down access at all. There is literally no law requiring them to do so. That's the problem with this. They're getting political. They're making it look like the law is making them shut down when they're just doing this to stick it to the political views they don't like. And to no surprise, like hook, line, and sinker, 90% of this thread is filled with fellow conservatives falling for it. And on another note, F Cornhub, I don't feel bad for them nor care about what they have to say about anything. I'm old enough to remember, checks notes, a whopping 2 to 3 years ago when they were universally hated because of child porn compliance. Now the left is cheering for them. Hilariously ironic. Nobody is cheering for them. It's just funny to watch these conservatives struggle because we warned folks that this stuff was in Project 2025, but they did not believe that Project 2025 was going to be rolled out. And to no one's surprise, it is actually being rolled out. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Let me know if you have anything that you've seen as far as leopards eating folks' face.